Hello. Hey everybody. How y'all doing? It's Friday. It's 12:06 and it's time for the market report. Okay? It's time for the market report. Here we are. Welcome everybody. Glad y'all are here. I appreciate how y'all know sometimes most of the time I'm on time. But some of the time I'm gonna be like 3-4 minutes behind. I have good reason for that today because I said, you know what? It's an open house and I want you guys to know about it. So stay tuned, watch the whole video, and I will show you guys this bomb open house is happening at the end of the week or this weekend. I'm like the end of the week. It's Friday. So tomorrow and Sunday, open house. I'll give y'all those seats in a minute. I just want to go through some things with you guys and get y'all to just know what's going on out here. So I hope y'all have had a fabulous week. The weather has been really nice here in Vegas, so shout out to that. Appreciating that. Hey, April. I've been appreciating that weather. Okay. I've been able to go outside. I got my arms out. I've been out here. I married a couple people this weekend or this week. So wedding recap. Shout out to Janae and Christopher on their wedding. I was so happy to officiate their wedding at Serendipity. It was absolutely beautiful. Really cute, small gathering of close family. So about, I think it was like maybe 30 people there or so. They played games. The DJ was hype. Everything. It was great. And I was just so happy to be the voice that united their love. It was fabulous. So congratulations to them. And let's get into these national trends. Let's see what's actually going on. So I'm going to make my screen bigger so y'all can see this and not see me like that. So housing market update. Shout out to Redfin News. For the first time in nearly 2 years, there's no major American metro where home prices are falling. Wow. How does that feel, guys? It feels like that's the way it is. Basically, it's saying that in all the major cities in the country, none of the prices are going down. And that's just kind of, that's the cards that we've been dealt right now. So industry inventory, sorry guys, is below typical April levels. There's so much data out there just from ages and ages and ages of what's actually happening in the real estate world and how it happens all the time. Like there's some patterns that happen as real estate goes about year after year. So you can pretty much guarantee that springtime is going to be a bit more of a buzz and people are more out there trying to get their home sold or find a home. And then in the wintertime, a lot of times there's not a lot of action, because people are paying for, PlayStations and stuff. So there's not a lot of action going on in December times of the year. And then you got the hot ass months. People aren't doing much out there during that time. So there's a lot of data as to why they have this information. So typically in April, inventory is a bit higher, like I said, because people are like out here selling their homes, but a lot of people just aren't doing that right now. So because of that, and we talk about this every week, okay, because the inventory is low, home prices are up consistently, raising the rates, and that's just the way it is, right? I think a big thing about this is if you are a buyer and you're looking to buy, like I tell you guys all the time, if you're looking to make a home purchase and you can make a home purchase, if you're in a position to purchase a home, however people perceive the expensivity, is that a word? However much people perceive that the home is expensive, if that is not you and you're like, well, actually I went and I got my numbers, I talked to a lender, I talked to an agent, and they say that I can actually afford a home, get in where you fit in. I tell you guys this every week. Get in where you fit in, because the way that things are going and the way that a lot of corporations are set up right now, they're really trying to make it so that people will rent forever. And I hate to tell y'all, but the interest rate on renting is 100%. There's no return on renting ever. Even if the market changes and it goes down, it'll go back up. If it goes up, it might come back down. But when you're renting, there's no return on your investment. The interest is 100%, and that's just what that is. So yeah, there's that. There's my little spiel on that. Trying to watch. Hey, Yuri's in town. Let me talk. Look, Yuri, I'm gonna talk about your town, Pahrump. I promise. Okay. Let me move this window to the left so I can make sure I'm looking at stuff right. Okay. I don't want to see those. Okay. So moving right along. Today, well, it says today, but it was really 2 days ago. Today's Fed meeting, unlikely to send mortgage rates up or down. So what does that mean? In the May 1st meeting, the Fed held interest rates steady, and they didn't say that they were going to cut rates, and they weren't necessarily going to raise rates. But for the home buyers, the meeting shouldn't move the needle on the mortgage rate. And the more important piece of economic news is that what is the next inflation report going to say? So the reports are in, okay? So according to Redfin, like I said, they're holding those interest rates. And in their statement, they said basically virtually no surprises should happen, and it shouldn't move mortgage rates much. And I would say the good news with that is at least the mortgage rates aren't necessarily going up. So I get a ping on my phone every time the mortgage rates change, like literally a couple times a day, because they change all the time. It may change by 0.4%, 0.3%, 0.1%, up or low. And it just happens every day. So I'm watching these rates, and I've been noticing these little itty bitty changes. And so they really haven't moved much in the last week or so. So and I say the last week, but really it's since July 2023. They've been pretty steady, coming up around 7-ish%. And if you've got good credit, if you've got your finances in a row, you don't have a really high debt to income ratio. I actually was just talking to a friend of mine who is purchasing a home back home in VA, 757. I was talking to him, and he's purchasing a home, and he was so concerned because he's like, Dre, so we're about to, we put in an offer on the house, but my wife, she changed jobs. So if you know anything about buying a home, there are two things you do not want to do while you're in the process of buying a home. And number one is you don't want to acquire any new debt. Okay. Do not go buy a car. Do not go, get something that you have to get on credit. Also, you don't want to change your jobs, because that is going to affect the longevity of your income to the lender when they see that. I'm sorry, Yuri, that I had to tell the people about Pahrump. But you just want to keep those things kind of steady. So he was kind of freaking out about it. And I'm like, just relax. At the end of the day, it's a very recent change. Maybe there's some things that can happen to make it so that, it might be okay. Long story short, it was okay. She did have to come off of the loan, but because he has better credit and because he has very low debt, his mortgage rate ended up being, I think it's at 6.4%. So take that into consideration whenever you are ready to buy, even if you're not ready to buy today. Consider the fact that you can get ready. It doesn't have to be a today thing. Yes, mortgage rates are going up, but your situation can change at any time. You're the master of your boat. So if you want to make more money, go out there and make more money. Okay. And if you want a better interest rate, make sure your debt is low and make sure you've got good income. Anyway, the rates haven't changed, but in part due to inflation. So in their statement, and I'm going to quote this, the Fed added a sentence saying that in recent months, there's been a lack of further progress towards the committee's 2% inflation objective. They also changed from risk of moving into a better balance to risk have moved toward better balance over the past year. Church voice, y'all. Somebody turn to your neighbor and say progress. I would say, neighbor, progress. Okay, so the Fed feels that this is a more balanced market for them, so that the risks are not as high as they were before, which is a big reason why the inflation was going up and up. Brother Jerome Powell, y'all don't know who Jerome Powell is. He's actually the chairperson over the Federal Reserve. So Brother Jerome, I like to call him, made it clear that further rate hikes are unlikely. And he says that the current interest rate levels have worked to bring inflation down and does not think further restriction is necessary. So that's the whole thing, is that they've the inflation has been bought, or the interest rate rather has been elevated to combat inflation. Everything is give and take in this world. You want to save the planet by using reusable stuff instead of throwing out Ziploc bags. You got to use water to wash it. Okay. Everything is balanced and everything is give and take. So when we think of give and take and balance in the market, we want to look at the interest rate as well as inflation. So those things kind of teeter totter and keep our market stable. I'm using that term loosely, very loosely. So Powell anticipates that in line with current market expectations, rate cuts are going to come later than previously expected. We hear you, Brother Jerome. We hear you, but I'm not banking on anything that you say, because see, last year y'all was like, oh, we're gonna cut the rates like 3 to 6 times. Then, oh, we're gonna cut the rate 3 times. Now it's later. We don't know. So, I give you these reports so that you guys don't have to like go and look it up and find the information. But just from me, I just take stuff as it comes and as it goes, because we don't control any of it. We don't control it. So and they decide when they decide what they decide. So there's that. Let me see. Do I move on to the next slide? Okay. So this is the next thing that I thought was pretty interesting. Okay. The Fed is slowing down the quantitative tapering process slightly more than expected. And I know what you guys are thinking. WTF is quantitative tapering. Okay. And what does that have to do with me buying a house and all the things, right? So think of the Fed like a big bank, and they manage the company's money and they try to keep the economy stable, so to speak, right? So one way they've been doing that lately is through something called quantitative tapering, or QT. So during during the pandemic, I told you guys about this a couple weeks ago, and I was explaining why this chart that's on the screen, the primary mortgage market surveys up there. I explained to you guys that back in 2001, where the rates were down to 2%, the feds had bought a lot of these bonds to, make sure that the government, kept going pretty much. And so that's why the interest rates were at 2%. And it's also why they're not going back. So I think that people are really kind of getting it and understanding now that even though they really, 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 really want interest rates to go down to 2%, they missed the boat, baby. You missed it. It's and I don't mean to laugh, but you missed it. And it's okay, because if you really look at this chart that I have on the screen, I can't move myself out of the way. But let me try to move myself, because I want to see what that first year says. Okay, it goes all the way back to before 1974. Okay, pre-1974 is when this chart goes to. And if you look at around 1981, the interest rate was at about 18% at that time, right? And then the interest rate continued to drop and went up and drop and went up, and year over year over year. I mean, this is like 30 years ago, the interest rate was 18%. Now, 18%, even though it was 18%, people still were able to afford homes, right? So I think that it's important that we look at these type of things with like the mind of a different perspective than what you kind of maybe hear your friends saying, or comparing what rate you might get now to the rate that somebody else may have, or the idea of giving up a rate to stay somewhere that you may not want to need to be. You just kind of have to look at what it really looks like right now. So right now we're about at a 7.22% 30-year mortgage. Okay, if you do 15, you get 6.47 years. Your mortgage is going to be higher, but you pay it off 15 years instead. So now that they're slowing so basically what they've been doing is selling off some of these bonds that they bought back in 2020, 2021. They've been selling those bonds off to get things back to normal, but they were selling them off pretty quickly. And what happened was that's what caused some of the problems that we were looking at with the spike. You see right there at the end of 2023, if you're looking at that chart, it was kind of like a spike up. Like it jumped from 2% to 5% in a very short amount of time because they were selling those bonds off too quickly. I hope y'all are following me. I hope you guys are not asleep. Come back, read it later. I don't know, whatever. So, which could cause a problem if they did it too fast. So today they announced that they're going to slow down the selling process a bit. And instead of selling off $60 billion worth of bonds a month, they're going to sell $25 billion worth. So if we sell too many, it just could have messed up how much money is floating around in the banking system. And that's just going to screw some things up even worse. And it's also just adding to the whole inflation and is adding to the inflation and the interest rate problem that we've been having in our country. So we're just going to trust that the Feds know what they're doing. And yeah, and it might sound like they're trying to boost the economy, but they say that that's not their main goal. They're just trying to make sure that everything stays smooth and steady in the financial world. So it's kind of like driving a car. If you give too much gas and slam hard on brakes, you don't want to do that. We just want to ease into this change that's happening. And that's why the Feds are slowing down on their quantitative tapering. And I hope that matters to you guys. If it doesn't matter, if you guys don't care about this type of information, let me know. Because I get kind of deep with the stuff. And if it's not resonating, you're like, just show me a house. Let me know, okay? Because this is a conversation, okay? So what does that mean for home buyers? Mortgage rates are unlikely to change in the near future. And that's just what it is. On the 15th is the next inflation report. So by the 15th, after the 15th, I'll have some deets for you guys as far as what that looked like for, what the new inflation report is saying. Moving right along, let's look at these local things, all the things that are happening local in Las Vegas. So, before I get into the numbers, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. So, congratulations, Henderson. Woo. You guys are getting a Pickler indoor pickleball court. It's like a chain, whoop-de-doo, Henderson. You guys get all the cool stuff. But it's cool because they're going to plan to open 5 in the county. And that means that I'm confident that the North Side is going to get their own pickleball indoor court. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Nevada is upping its manufacturing jobs. And this could be good for the industry or it could not be good. The manufacturing industry is lacking in labor. People do not want to work in manufacturing. They don't want the jobs. People be like, inflation. I can't get no loan. Go get you a manufacturing job just for a little bit so you can get it. I don't know what to tell you guys, but it's jobs out there, which is another reason why the inflation is crazy because there are jobs that are out there. So I also get it though. People may not want to work on an assembly line 40 days a week. So there's that. The Las Vegas Review Journal really keeps me up to date on all of the things that are happening. I pay the subscription, so y'all don't have to. So shout out to the Las Vegas Review Journal. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend in the city. Lovers and Friends is going on. Tickets are sold out. So if you didn't get your ticket, stand outside the gates and enjoy the music from afar. I don't know what to tell you. The Kentucky Derby is happening, obviously in Kentucky. And there are a bunch of events going on, a bunch of places where you can jump into and enjoy the derbiness. Enjoy the Derby. Okay. One of the best places to go is going to be Mariposa. Check out my girl, Angie T. She's hosting a Kentucky Derby party. She's from Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. So she brings the heat. She comes like, get dressed up, wear your hat thing. So there's that. How are buyer agents handling NAR new guidelines in Vegas? That's a good question, Elias. So, he asked the question, so we need to know. It's very straight up. So buyer agents are doing a bit of different things out here. From what I've seen and what I'm doing and my team are doing, we are pretty much allowing buyers to choose we're allowing sellers to choose their commission that they would like to pay. I feel like as agents, as realtors, it's our job to kind of work as a team because we all want the same thing. We want to help sellers sell their homes and we want to help buyers to buy their homes. So sellers are selling agents or listing agents, I should say, are doing more of a option of what commission they want to pay and encouraging that person, you really still want to pay this buyer's agent. Buyers, we are making sure that buyer agents are pretty much making sure that our contracts are in line to make sure that, you know, buyers understand that agents need to get paid. So they're doing that. I have also seen where some of the lenders are changing it up and are now including in the lending the price of a buyer agent. So that is one of the things that I feel is going to be the most important aspect, is that lenders are changing their guidelines and their rules to allow buyers to be able to actually afford to make a purchase. Because we already know, by the way, y'all, Elias is out and he's everywhere, honestly. He's on the West Coast, he's on the East Coast, one of my mentors in real estate, actually. So if you're in the Hampton Roads area, Maryland, I think, put your deets in the chat, Elias. He is that guy. But that's how we're doing it out here. Basically, we're making sure that our contracts, our buyer brokerage agreements are signed so that buyers understand that they do have to pay for these services. Potentially DC, MD, VA, boom, DMV, y'all. We're also, as teams of people that want to make sure things happen in California, ensuring that if you're listing a property, you're educating your client to let them know the importance of paying a commission that is reasonable and fair, because it will only benefit them to do so. And then also that the lenders are changing some of their rules up to allow buyers to include in their loan the price for their agent. So that's what we're doing. What y'all doing? We should chat about that. I'll call you. So yeah, back to the report. So what else we got on? Kentucky Derby, and then May the 4th be with you. Beer Fest is happening on Saturday at Tenaya Creek Brewery. Starts at 6. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Boom. I actually am. Now we're going to hit these numbers. So I switched some things up for you guys this time around. We're going to talk about Henderson first. And I kind of tried to circle some things, and I couldn't tell when I'm presenting this if people can actually see where my mouse is going, and I don't think you can. So I kind of circled some things on here. Y'all let me know how this works for you, okay? So here we're looking at Henderson. This week, the median price for a Henderson home is $679,925. And pretty much it's a slight seller's advantage this week. Now, last week, it was a strong seller's market in Henderson. And that's the reality of it, is that the market changes in each area week over week. So the median price is going to be at $599. You see that green circle over there. And then we're going to look at those average days on market is 123 days. For those of you who are thinking about listing your home, 123 days is about average on when you can expect to sell a home. Now, right below that, it says median days on market is 42. If you got good credit, got good all the goods, and as a seller, if you find if your agent or a buyer's agent finds someone that is perfect for your property, you might be out of there in 42 days. Yes, Elias. Rent is $2,400 in Henderson. I'm gonna just say that my mortgage is not $2,400. I did get a different rate, but it is what it is, right? You can always do that. You can keep doing that. If you need to do that, go for it. But rent is going to be at $2,400. And then if we're looking at the what's been going on in Henderson since October 2019, that chart at the top is just kind of showing you that what's happening, and the reality is, as we know, excuse me, I'm going to have to change this so you guys can see. I know I'm cute, but I don't want it that big. Can I make this like not so small? Anyway. Oops, let me go back. Sorry, guys. So as I said before, is it this one? Oh, I'm just gonna do this. Y'all need to see me. As I said before, each quadrant of price point is its own market within the market, right? So in Henderson, if you're buying a luxury property, you're going to look at the median price of that being about $2,554,000, $2.5 million, right? Days on market for those properties are 77 days. Then that next quadrant down It's going to be $819. So that's like, I mean, depending on what your price point is, if you're in the $819 price point, you're looking at 42 days. If you're selling your home as a buyer, you could look at that and say, okay, it's not as competitive in the $819 range. Now we're looking at 584 is the next quadrant down. Days on market is going to be 35 days. But if you have a property that's around 440, you're out of there in 28 days on average, because those properties are the properties that more people can afford, around that 440 range. So if you're in Henderson and you want to spend around 440, 450, you're going to have a little bit, well, I won't say a little, you're going to have more competition for that property in Henderson. Okay, moving on along, let's go to City of Las Vegas. So this week, the median list price for Las Vegas was $584,477. It's a strong seller's market in the city of Las Vegas, y'all. On the median price for a new home, new listing rather, is at $510. Right in the left corner of that little circle, you can notice that has been quite a bit of an uptick from last week. Average days on market are going to be 134 days, and median days are going to be at 42. So again, if you're thinking of selling your property, you're pretty much looking at about 134 days before your property is sold, depending on which quadrant your home is in. The median rent is going to be $2,300 in the city of Las Vegas. So I mean, you got $2,300 with the rent. Shout out to my girl Lawanda Austin over at Taco Title for always having these numbers ready for me. So then let's look at these high-end numbers. You're going to have 1.3 million is going to be the average for your more luxury properties in the city of Las Vegas. That's going to be 63 days. Then you got 696K coming in on 38 days on the market. And then 499 and 389, those lower two quadrants, they're tied up right now at 28 days on the market. So again, when you're in the city of Las Vegas, if you're looking for a home in these price points, this is just showing you what your competition is going to look like. Basically, the less amount of days on market means the more competition there is out there for those properties. I tell you guys, don't be scared of no competition though, because if you have a good agent, if your representation is good, you might not have to offer more money for a property. You may have to, they may have a better option for you. I'll just say that they may have a better option than just saying, oh, I'll pay 10,000 over, or I'll do, there are other things that can be done that can put you ahead of your competition, but that heavily depends on the negotiation skills of your realtor. So get you one of me. I'm gonna keep moving. Okay, North Las Vegas, my side of town, whoop whoop squad. Here we go. North Las Vegas, it's a strong seller's market out here, y'all. The average price for a North Las Vegas listing is going to be $447,000. But check that median list price of new listings. It's gone down a little bit. So it's going to be $425K with the new listings here in North Las Vegas. So that's been a decrease from last week. So, consider that. Rent is going to be at $2,200. Okay, sorry, the kid in the chat. Rent's going to be at $2,200. So consider that if you want to keep renting, whatever works for you. Median list price in North Las Vegas is going to be at $570. So if you're in Henderson and you're saying, wow, I got, you got the low end amount of Henderson that's leaving in 28 days, you can go to North Las Vegas and there's less competition. There's less competition at $570. And then on that low end, you got $427 and $347. So, you know what to do, Sai. So on the low end, you got those $427 and $374, those quadrants, those are tied up at 31 days. So in 30 days, if you list the property and you're in that price range, you can pretty much expect that your property will be sold relatively quick. All right, Pahrump, this for Yuri, because he loves his Pahrump. New listings in Pahrump are coming in at $399. So it's actually pretty steady from last week. It's a slight seller's advantage. Rent out there is $1,698. So if you want to live in the woods and the mountains where the hills have eyes, you can go and rent out there for $1,698. On the high end, you got 112 days on market. 569 is the high end of properties out in Pahrump. On the low end of properties, you got 335, but that's pretty much tied up with the 440. So some people that have more money that may want to get more for their dollar, instead of being in Henderson, they don't mind being away from all the lights and action of Las Vegas. They can always go up to Pahrump area. So, oh yeah. Yeah, that's it, y'all. That's it for me. I've gone through the numbers for you guys. Y'all can catch me next week, same place, same time, Friday for the market report. I do want to let you guys know, I told y'all that I was going to tell you about this open house that's going on. It's in Henderson, y'all. And it's on the high end, but I thought y'all would like to look at these these pictures. Or shoot, if you're the one, this might be the house of Saari the kid. So it's at 378 Solitude Peak Lane in Henderson. The open houses are going to be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, pretty much from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can drop in and check out these properties. I'm not personally going to be here, but some of my colleagues will be there. So if you get there, tell them your girl Dre sent you. And I really would like to show y'all, I would like to show you guys some of the beautiful images of this house. Okay, let me show you. Let me show y'all what we got going on. Let me see. Share screen. Easiest with I don't have two monitors. Okay. We're gonna show this matrix screen. There we go. Boom. Can y'all see this? I hope y'all can see this. Okay, great. Y'all can see it. But that's the view. That's the view of this house. Okay, so like I said, you're in Henderson, definitely in the hills. It's a beautiful, beautiful property, y'all. I mean, let me show you the closet. I'm clicking kind of fast because I'm trying to get up out of here. But it's 3 stories, as you can see. Fireplace on the 2nd floor with the kitchen area. You got a balcony overlooking the area. Beautiful kitchen, nice, quaint, cute kitchen. Obviously, the person that's living in this home ain't doing too much cooking anyway. So there's that. This is your cooking pantry, which is just organization. I mean, this type of stuff really, I was going to use a term, but I'm not going to use that term. Keeping it moving. We've got double doors that lead out to another patio. And this bathroom in the homeowner suite. Come on. Look at that. Look at that. Then we got the stand-up shower over on the side, washer and dryer upstairs in the homeowner suite as well. People are calling me in the middle of my show. Homeowner suite has multiple closets, but look at this closet. Come on. Okay. And that's that, y'all. And then I'm giving you a peek at the outside of it. 2-car garage, backyard. And that's the house right there, y'all. So if you are in the market for purchasing a property and you want to get into this, because I think this property is going for like $2 million, or if you just want to check it out, go check it out, see how it's going. But that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. Hire me, houses, spouses, both. Okay. My name is Dre Sher. I'm the wedding realtor, and whether you want to say yes to the house or the spouse, I'm here supporting you through life's most important moments. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys get out there and do something nice, get in the sun, get some vitamin D, listen to some music, dance with somebody you love. Don't let nobody play in your face. And if you or anybody that you know is seriously interested in real estate for whatever reason, just let me know. Send them my information, send a DM, whatever. I just want to be a resource to you guys. Don't ever feel like you're pressured to buy or sell anything talking to me. I just want to be there to be able to allow you guys to get some information on the market so that you are a market expert in your own right. So I'm out of here, y'all. It's been real. I got to roll because I got things to do. I hope you all have a great, great time this evening. All of this, I already said that. I just want y'all to know I love y'all, okay? I'm out. Peace.